Diet Coke number one. Yeah, did you hear that? I was just thinking. Um, yeah, Diet Coke number one. I like having usually one or two in the afternoon, kind of around like 12 to like 3 to 4 p.m. Just as a little pick me up. I don't know. There's not much caffeine, and I know they're not great for you, but I drink a ton of water every day, so I figured a couple of these won't kill me. 46 milligrams. I think an average cup of coffee is like 200-ish. Usually I have a cup of coffee in the morning and then one or two Diet Cokes in the afternoon. A little bit frustrating yesterday. It wasn't a waste of time by any means, but a little bit frustrating that I wasn't able to get a better ball speed than my first session trying to get up to 165. But I think we hit it was like 157.9. Just got to keep swinging it. What's up, Sabo VR? I did some I did some VR. What was that? 2 nights ago. I have the Oculus 2. So I did ping pong's my favorite. That 11, if you're actually VR, that could just be initials, I guess. But the 11 ping pong is my favorite. The pickleball's not bad. The walkabout mini golf is pretty good, and the golf game, Golf Plus or whatever. I watched it back though. I don't know if the newer one's better, but I could get it's kind of shaky. Like watching back the playback of what I was seeing. Um, I'm in there. Maybe if I do it again, I gotta do a better job of like keeping my head still. But it seems like the that walkabout mini golf, the putt game, that was like the easiest on the eyes to watch back. The other ones were kind of shaky. Hey, what's up, guys? Sharina Decker, Yusina Campos. What's up? Toast, you work out today? I bet you did. Or you're going to. Hit all but one fairway at the Simbar Thursday, but abysmal distance. Well, that's some pinpoint accuracy. Distance isn't everything, but I mean, you know, um, the guys that just hit it longer, if they can control it, which is what I'm trying to do, you just give yourself such an advantage. If you're playing a somewhat long course or somewhat further back tees, if you're hitting it off the tee and you're putting yourself within like a wedge up to about an 8 iron distance versus if you don't get it out there quite as far, then you're hitting like a 3 wood or a hybrid or like a long iron into a green. Makes a big difference. There was some studies they did a couple years ago how you were like statistically like scoring wise like way better off increasing your distance off the tee and even being in the fairway versus scoring of hitting it. I don't know what the difference was in the two like driving distances, but um, versus hitting it shorter and in the fairway, just because of the stuff that I explained. 7:30 a.m. workout. I've done some of those early workouts in the past. To me, I just don't. It takes me a little bit to get going. To me, if I'm doing that right in the morning, the workouts just aren't as good versus if I wait a little bit longer. Like for me today, I worked out after the premiere of the video was done. So that video went live at like 12:02 or whatever it was. So at like, I don't know, 12:30ish, I worked out. And I mean, I don't go to the gym or anything, so I just have, I've said it before, but I just have a pair of those power block dumbbells and a bench. So I just do everything. It takes me almost all the workouts are right at 30 minutes. So warm up quick and then I'm done. I'm in and out, so to speak, within about 35, 40 minutes at the most. Saturday CrossFit class. It's a good place to meet people. I wish you'd see a little more of the female population out on the golf courses, but that seems heavily heavily bro dominated. What's up, Golden? Who wants you to donate? I wouldn't mind. We'll see if Toast agrees. Ooh, Golden. Shout out, Golden. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you very much. That's kind of you. Made my day. Antennas. Yesterday during a live stream, Antennas. His username was Antennas. He's in Canada. He donated Canadian dollars, and Seadrum sent a donation yesterday. He did $1. He did $1.69. I appreciate that though. I'm gonna put it towards my propane heater fund. I already used one tank, and this tank that's out there, it's on the second one, is probably um, more than half empty. So still pretty cold here in New England. If you haven't seen, I think you're new, Golden. I haven't seen you in here before, but I do a bunch of golf simulator streams in my garage that's uninsulated, and I'm in the Northeast up here in New England, where it's about 20 degrees outside. So I've been burning through propane. Only old ladies love to golf. I mean, on one hand, I don't mind. 20 is hot for where you live? Where do you live? 20 Fahrenheit? 20 Fahrenheit's pretty cold. Unless you're like in Alaska. Hey, what's up, Boogeyman Bill? You missed the premiere. You're in Rhode Island? Degrees? It was 7 last week. Course is still closed. Probably gotten 3 hours of putting. Really? That's pretty awesome, Keith. When are we going out on course again, Keith? Golden, you should check out. Hey, I hope you come back. You should check out some of the videos. I won't say exactly where I am, but I am pretty close to Rhode Island. It's odd you said that. But I appreciate you stopping in, and I appreciate you sending the super chat. Come back in here. I do some stuff. I think if you're actually in Rhode Island, you'd find some of them interesting. Check them out. All right, sounds good. Maybe as early as next weekend. All right, Keith. Like I said, it's a lot more difficult for you to get out there with the weather and the tee times and everything. But as soon as you want to do it again, even with like a day or two notice, just let me know and I'll set it up again. I think um, I'm down ASAP. Sounds good. I think I'm gonna try to do something here with Boogeyman Bill pretty soon. He's got a simulator in his workshop. He uses the square as well. So I think we're gonna do probably a par three scramble online, and then I was talking to D Lud Golf, and I think we're gonna do something here coming up too, possibly as soon as tomorrow with D Lud. And I did. Me and Golfy played a couple days ago. Me and Seedrum have played. Spike, Lyndon CC, Mashy. Who am I missing? What do you think, Keith? You think Lex over there at McGolfin TV? You think he's close to the money at this point? I think they're back tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Me and Dave should be a good pairing. D-Lud, yeah. I mean, I haven't connected with him a whole lot, but seemingly seems like a good dude. I'm excited for it. I think what we're gonna do, he said he's working on something new for his channel, so I think we're gonna record something kind of offline for him, and then we'll do either later that day or whatever. He was saying possibly tomorrow night. I think after that we'll go live over on my channel and we'll do a scramble of some sorts. Um, what I even ask you, the part about I was saying, what do you think about at this point? You think Lex is close? Lex over at McGolfin TV is close to in the money with his tournament because I think he was off these past couple of days because of that money tournament. I think they're back tomorrow. Hope so. I'm rooting for him. Yeah, I mean, I guess me too. I don't know. It's not like I know anyone else playing, so I guess if I had to choose, might as well let him win first place. I was just wondering. I don't really know. He to explain the format. I don't know how good some of those people are. Lex is pretty good, especially if he's hitting the ball straight off the tee and his irons are on, which they usually are. And I guess it just comes down to a short game. But the dude pumps the ball out there, and Phil said he's one of the best iron players he's seen. Um, so that's a pretty good combo to win some money. Your computer's being put together this week? You must be pumped to jump. Seems like you've been wanting to jump into the GS Pro game for a little bit now. It's so much fun. It really doesn't get old, to be honest. GS Pro is so awesome, but like that first like probably month or two, you're not gonna be able to close the laptop or shut the computer down. Yeah, he's got dangerous potential. I hit driver last night. I hit driver for 2 hours straight. I've been trying to do some speed training. I want to get my drives up to where like what he's hitting. Toast, are you gonna do SGT or no? Have you decided on that yet? I feel like I may have asked you that before. Toast, you just got to join if you want to do like a scramble par three or something. You got to join, get Discord on your phone, and we can do a live stream doing a scramble or something. Or you said putting. At this point, I feel like if I were to be like playing GS Pro and putting right now, I feel like I'd be more comfortable outside because I've putted so much more there. Although this, it'll probably take me a time or two to get comfortable in here, but I could imagine if I'm only doing like a putting only course, I probably would end up putting a little bit better in here because it's nice and flat and smooth. I might see how it all comes together first. We'll play. Yeah, sounds good. All you need is cool too. GS Pro, as long as you, unfortunately, they got rid of the lifetime option. I was like one of the last people I think to jump on that, which was cool. But they got rid of it. So as long as you have the active $250 a year subscription, you can play with anyone online. And then I believe to join SGT to do like all the official tours and like league, not well, I call them leagues, all the official like organized tours by them, it's $80 a year. And then if you want to do any private leagues, like Joe Legowski has one, Triple Bogey Golf has one. I think there's a few more. I think that's an extra $40 a year for a total of 120 if you want to do both. If it wasn't so, I like the thing what Ben's doing with people playing together at the same time on the course. Problem is, it's like I like fall asleep watching those. By the time he starts at 10:30, like I'd be all over that if that was at like 5 p.m. instead of 10:30 p.m. But no, it's a good question, Keith. You can use GS Pro with almost anything. Um, Maybe someone out there knows. I'm sure there's a few that you can't connect with, but almost every single launch monitor from like Foresight to TrackMan to SkyTrack to MLM2 Pro, the Rapsodo to the Square to the Garmin, Unicore, Full Swing. Full Swing maybe not. I don't know about Full Swing. Um, I don't know. You get the idea. Pro T, pretty much everything. The only difference is, which was a big selling point for the Square and the Pro T and Garmin are kind of in the minority to where you don't have to pay an extra subscription to be able to connect. Like they call it GS Pro, a third-party software, because it's just a software. That's all you use it for. A lot of the companies are anywhere from $100 to $500 a year just to be able to use GS Pro in the first place, which is kind of crazy. But all of that is cheap. I'll start by playing on the line and see how far I take it. Yeah, Springbok has a lot. I never use that just because I think I followed Joe Legowski's video with the Garmin. That possibly was even before the Springbok, I don't know. But whatever one he suggested getting is the one I got for the Garmin, and it always seemed to work at least good enough. So I never messed around with the Springbok. But I think Toast over here, he'll end up using that one instead of the official Square one, so he can use the X Putt, which I believe you can do. I'm like 90% sure you can do, to where you hit everything from driver to wedges with the Square or any other unit, and then you putt on the X Putt. I almost wonder. I know. I don't think it's possible because I remember Spike when he did a video on Spike's Blue Collar Sim Golf. He did a video about left-handed and right-handed, like moving the unit back and forth, and he asked him if you could pair two units together. So I'm thinking even at like $700, which isn't cheap, but considering the X Putt is 500 for 700, if you just had two squares, one where like mine stays, and then another one if I had like a second mat like this in the garage, you put the second unit on a mat like this just to putt would be kind of cool. What's up, Forest King Games and Planes? What up? All that to say, I don't believe it's possible to connect two squares together. I don't know how that would work with the Springbok. I don't know if you can connect two squares together from the Springbok. I'm thinking it may be possible considering you can do, like I was saying, the X putt and the square, and like webcam putting and any other unit. Call you Forest for short. Sounds good. Yeah, exactly. Two squares are cheaper than an overhead for left and right. 100% agree. Even I was just saying, even in terms of putting too, like I was saying, have like my square, like how we have ours, where you hit from the same spot, and then just have a secondary square like off to the side with this mat, and use that secondary square just for putting. Would be pretty nice. I just wish it would be so much better if imagine if they included that in the update, if they widened the hitting area to where I don't even need it wider in terms of like front to back, just like left to right, to where like you could hit from here and then putt from over where like my feet are. So if they did it like 6 inches wide, but then like 2 or 3 feet long, be pretty nice. I did see someone mentioned. Sometimes I scroll through the Facebook posts. Um, People have been itching for another update, and someone commented in one of them that they were told by Square that a pretty big update is coming next, like this upcoming month, so like in March. I don't know if that's true or not, or what that would entail. Cedro made a good point the other day, though. I'm assuming Bill's your setup may be the same. Cedro made a good point to where he said he was actually looking into the Pro T, but the way that he's set up is probably similar to mine, to where he's offset a decent amount. So even if he had an overhead, he can't center mount it to have both lefties and righties hit. So at that point, like there you need to have the space for the overhead on top of it to have like room for both players to be able to swing. Like I couldn't do that with mine. And even if I had like the second square for lefties and righties, I still couldn't do that either. Yeah, big hitting area. Springbok should do all that. Have you downloaded that Toast on like your current whatever your current computer is, just like your regular like office computer or whatever? Have you downloaded that connector and like poked around on it? You would have room. What do you think about the projector build? Now that you have that working, I haven't really asked you an update. Last I kind of asked you about the projector is when you had the HDMI and you still had the dog, and you were messing around with it. Do you think that projector, after using it for a little bit, you think that's a pretty good value for what we paid? The smaller text, at least for mine, I mean, I have mine pretty far back. It would be crisper if I moved it a bit closer, but then the image would be smaller. Some of the smaller text, especially in the corners, which could be the way I have the projector set up with like the corner correction and the keystone. Some of the smaller text is a little bit blurry, but like for $100 or whatever we paid, just over 100, I feel like it's pretty bright. And It hasn't crapped the bed on me just yet. You don't have a computer at all, really? Just don't know any lefties. I know one lefty, and he plays like once a year. I actually added. He came over when I was only had the R10. That was like probably 2 years ago. I literally added like a little batter's box in the mulch with the bricks in the backyard for literally one time that he came over. That's literally the only time he's ever been over to use it. And I added like a batter's box for him on the left side. But yeah, he couldn't use the square. I know. Um, Lyndon CC, if you guys remember him, when I did this three-man scramble with Spike and him, he had a Mevo Plus just like I think he probably still does, but just like Golfy. And he just did a video. I guess he bought a square and he runs like a league with like people come over and they do like money leagues and stuff. Um, he said it's been easy enough just to plop it back and forth. I'm just thinking like with that, one, it's a pain you're going shot for shot unless you finish the hole and you're switching it, but two, like I know how temperamental it is with the alignment. Like if you're trying to putt or even like if you have it like 2 degrees out of alignment and you're hitting like a driver, like that could mean like hitting the fairway versus into the trees. So I wonder how they I guess obviously they eyeball it the best they can, but I just don't know how temperamental it is with the launch angle with putting. I don't know how you would adjust to that, changing it almost every single shot for 18 holes. Projector's good. Need tension to the screen side. So what I do, I have mine hanging. It's kind of similar to yours, but I have mine on the hospital curtain track, and all I do is it's big enough and heavy enough to weigh it down, and all I do is I have two of those ball bungees that came with the screen. I have those in the two single bottom corners, and I have them kind of pulling diagonal out. Um, it works pretty good. Like my screen's not perfectly flat either, but I've heard if you have a little bit of give to the screen, so like yeah, the image doesn't look as crisp, but if it's like has a little bit of give to it, it doesn't wear quite as quick. Versus if you have a screen that's really tight, the image is going to look better, but the ball's going to bounce back more, and there's less give when you're hitting shots continuously into it. I've heard you'll wear them out a bit quicker if you have them tighter. Tape something to the floor, lock it in placement on both sides. Yeah, it's not a terrible idea. I just like the fact of the bungees are easy. One of them I have to take off when I'm done because it's kind of in the way from where I walk. The other one I leave, so like on the left side of the screen, I leave that one kind of permanently bungeed, so I don't really have to get over there. But the right side, I need to walk there. So the bungee, I just uh, fasten it and unfasten it every time I use it. But I like the fact of um, relatively minimally evasive in terms of all I did was hang the track pretty much, which you could easily just take down, and the fact that everything slides and moves out of the way if I need to, um, versus having something, even what we have with something, some portions of it that are a little more permanent, and then going all the way up towards like a pretty permanent enclosure that they sell. And if you adjust the top some, as I was a bit short on width, I have the bottom bungeed. Yeah, I had to. It seems like a pretty simple process, which you can get like when I was building it out, my dad helped me. You can get like most of it done, like 75% of it done like relatively quick to where it's up, but then I feel like it takes a good amount of time to fine tune stuff to where like the screen's a little bit too low. How am I going to raise it up a little bit or um, move this over a little bit, move that over a little bit? That tweaking stuff I feel like took more time than like the bulk of it. I do need to. I've been meaning to do that with my projector. Honestly, I set it up to where things work, and like to go out there and spend an hour in the cold messing with the corner correction and the keystone of the projector. I need to do that, but I don't know, it's kind of low on my priority list. I am very excited though. Starting tomorrow, it's going to get up to about 40, like high 30s, low 40s tomorrow. But then I think all the way until almost next weekend, so pretty much for about a week, it's going to be high 40s the entire week. With one day, I think Wednesday is supposed to get up to a high of 51, which is still cold. But like you were doing with opening the garage, if I open it up and let some of the warmer air in, I think after about day 2 or 3, with it staying about like mid to high 40s, it should be much more tolerable in there. I just have to break down the ramp to get to my ladder there to fix the top. So your ramp, um, I do like that idea. Maybe I know like they sell. I've seen they're on SimSpace. They're like foam, like long triangular foam pieces that you put at the front of the screen. I wonder if I got one of those. And problem is that I guess I'd have to build up in between where the gym mats are. It would be kind of nice though if it rolled back a little bit more. But I don't know. I figure at least I get some steps in, walking back and forth to get the ball from the screen. You're supposed to hit 60. That's nice. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking that too, Toast. I have a feeling I was talking about that yesterday during the live stream. I think by the time with me doing the work now, with how cold it is and how bundled up and kind of restricted I am, like I try to have the clothes that are relatively stretchy, so I don't feel that way. But anyway, you slice it. If you have 3, 4 layers on and you're trying to swing, um, I'm thinking by the time like springtime comes around and it's actually like 75 degrees in there, and I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, you would think my ball speed would go up at least 5 miles an hour just from the ball being warmer, which compresses more, me being able to swing quicker and not be bundled up, muscles stay looser and warmer. I'm lazy. I like that my putts roll back to my feet mostly. Hey, it's a good way to do it. I hear you. How funny is it? We've gone to the point from uh like 5, 10 years ago with one not having a simulator, but two going over the past 5 or 10 years with the simulator space. A lot of more people now have simulators, so that cuts down on like the time constraint and all the walking in between shots compared to actual golf. And then even on top of that, now we have people that on top of the shorter no walking sim golf where you can pretty much stand in the same spot and just switch your club and keep hitting to the point where we've got it to where people have their ball roll back to their feet so they don't have to move. Woods and irons roll back behind you for the most part. I was a little bit sore last night and this morning, but honestly, I feel pretty good right now. I feel like I could hit shots. I'm not going to, but I feel like I could if like I had something scheduled that I really had to do, or like get a video out or something. I feel like I could hit shots. It would just be kind of down in speed and probably a little more wayward. I was meaning to talk about this though. Back when Bryson was on his speed training journey and he was documenting it, I don't know if some of those videos are still up or not, but during like when was that? 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, when Bryson went through that big speed journey where he was like always having a protein shake and like working out a ton and putting on a ton of muscle and speed. he documented a lot of that, and I was watching some stuff throughout that, and he talked a lot about in terms of speed training and getting your body to move faster. A lot of it comes down to your central nervous system. So it's like a lot of that which gets fatigued more so than like muscles type of fatigue. It's when you get up there in speed, it has a lot to do with like your nervous system, which maybe wouldn't necessarily strike people like that off the bat. I did the ramp to help the low currents roll back as a bonus. Yeah, I don't blame you. I just think it's funny how golf has evolved. I did a floor mat over memory foam to catch the balls. Yeah, I think Bogeyman Bill has the similar ones. I don't know if you got nicer ones than me, but even those like half an inch, quarter of an inch, whatever they are, those gym tiles that interlock, those things are pretty good. And they look pretty good just to cover up a floor, and they don't really bounce when you hit a ball coming down on those mats. They dampen it pretty good. Another thing Bryson also said is like he breaks down his body. Someone asked like how he hits for like an hour, hour and a half straight, like day after day when he was doing all that stuff, and he was like, I break down my body doing this stuff, and then I build it back up and repair it in the gym, which I thought was interesting. And I do feel better, like getting the blood flowing and like working out earlier, doing uh, chest, biceps, and shoulders. You get that blood flowing, and you do feel better. Unfortunately, when I was researching after my knee injury a month ago, month and a half, whenever that was, unfortunately, the whole blood flow thing does not work with knee ligaments. Blood flow has nothing to do with them. Need to roll the sim up and get some shop work done at some point? Nah, golf comes first, Bogeyman Bill. You did the whole floor with 12 by 16 with gym tiles. Nice. Some people that have it, which is cool. If I ever had the space, some people have like a much larger space, almost like a warehouse or whatnot, where they have like they have a gym with like workout equipment and the simulator all in like one space with like a couch somewhere. That's pretty optimal, especially those people that have enough to have like a pool table or like a ping pong table in there too. Some people's setups are like insane. Now that I think about it, I'm gonna message I'm gonna message Mashy right now and see when we're playing again. He comes in here and I pop into his live streams and we keep saying, yeah, let's play again. But then it doesn't go any further than that. Triple Bogey's a madman. He doesn't seem like he does a whole lot of collab stuff. I mean, I could ask. That would be fun. I mean, he would definitely carry the team. We'd use like it would be like with me and C Drum. We'd use like two of my shots. Like it would only be one of those things where he's gonna hit almost all of his iron shots better than me, and all of his putts are gonna be better than me, and his wedges. It's only gonna be one of those things where if he really tries to step on one off the tee and puts it like into the trees, then we'll use my drive that's like 50 yards shorter. Believe it or not, it's a little bit tricky getting contact with people. Like, you would think, all right, I'm just gonna leave a comment, but some people read the comments and respond to them. Some people don't. Like Ben has a lot of people in the live stream, so if I sent a message, maybe he'd miss it. I'd have to like send it like 10 times, being like, "Hey, do you want to play?" And like, I don't necessarily have a direct way to get in contact with him. I don't even know if he has Instagram or not. Um, and if he does, maybe he checks his messages, maybe he doesn't, kind of thing. Message on Discord would be best likely. You think so? I know people. He has people email him too. Maybe I could send him an email. I'm not saying he would, but some people are funny about certain things that they do in terms of like collabs and doing stuff with other people. He doesn't strike me as one of those people, but we never know. Yeah, he's too busy on his channel. Barring having an email or a phone number. You don't have an email? Are you saying him or me or you? Are you saying you don't have an email or a phone number? Or you saying maybe he does or doesn't, or maybe I do or don't? Discord versus email or phone? I wish the ping pong on the VR looked better. Because that is pretty fun. Like, I wouldn't mind doing that like a couple times a week, but it was pretty rough. I don't know. Bill was in there for a little bit. I don't know how you were watching that. Maybe more so you were listening to it, but I watched it back and it is pretty, like, I mean, it looks good on my end, um, playing that game, but sending it over to my computer and then to YouTube, I feel like some of that VR stuff gets lost in transmission a bit. It's pretty shaky. And the fact that, like, I like having like I was saying, basically the way that the surrounding area works in that game, you guys were seeing like a black background and surroundings because I had on like the mixed, they call it mixed reality, to where I can still see the table and the guy, but everything around me is kind of like transparent, so I can see, like, if I were to like I was saying with the walls or whatever, like I could like reach out and like see what I'm touching to make sure you don't get close versus like those two golf games, it's completely immersed to where you can't see anything around you. So I half the time I feel like, all right, am I up against a wall where I'm gonna whack it, or like am I gonna walk into something? Tough to follow for me. Yeah, I know. I was just thinking stuff where, like on a day like today, where I need to take it off and not hit balls, like other stuff that I could do that would be interesting. And I know the square in here maybe would be. It's just kind of a pain. I like kind of keeping stuff, like I was saying, how it like I keep it together, and setting up the square in here would probably be kind of a process, and then breaking it down and then bringing it back into the garage type of thing. I don't know. I probably could do the putting, those putt courses. Like I said, when I was watching that back, that looked like the most watchable portion because not as much stuff was moving. It wasn't high pace, so I was kind of just looking around and like not moving a ton. And I think it was a little bit more stable. I gotta see though. Like I don't know what the ceilings are in here. They're probably only like 8 foot ceilings. I don't know if I could swing the swing stick inside. which that would be kind of fun. If I can swing the swing stick inside and not feel like I'm going to hit the ceiling, I could do GS Pro inside with the swing stick only. Become the number one swing stick GS Pro player in the world. I want to be surprised with how popular the square is becoming. Maybe I'll set one up, but I want to be surprised if eventually, if that stays there on the connector, I want to be surprised if there's like a swing stick SGT tour, or at least a league, like a custom league, to where everyone is playing complete 18 holes with the swing stick only. That would honestly be kind of fun. Because, like, I get the worry that some people are using it for drives and then switching back and forth and that kind of stuff, which I 100% agree is not fair. But if it's like a swing stick only league or like a swing stick only match kind of thing, um, Bill, maybe me and you do one of those. Struggle swing, I think we're going to do that too. Struggle swing mentioned him using the swing stick versus me using my actual clubs, which will be fun. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Bring the swing stick where I was doing the VR, see if I can swing it. Yeah, you tried the swing stick, hit 250 drives, no problem, not realistic for me. I get it, I agree. The driver's not, but I think it's accurate because if you set up your bag, like if you have the bag mapping done within GS Pro to where like it suggests you can hit whatever, but say if you're like 150 yards and it suggests like 9 iron, if it's automatically switching to 9 iron like it does, and then you swing your 9 iron at similar speed, it should go similar distance. I agree with off the tee, it's crazy. If you just swing hard, you can get it to go super far. But again, if like say it was like a two-person match or a scramble or a league that everyone was doing it, it would level the playing field. I think I'm gonna try that tonight. That sounds kind of fun, and that should be better to watch than the VR. Problem is though, same thing with the stupid VR. I'm still swinging, so the whole point of these off days is to not swing. And I know for a fact if I start playing 18 holes on GS Pro, I'm gonna start swinging kind of hard with the stupid swing stick. I'll be right back. Bathroom break. You'll be shooting pool in a bit, so I'll have to watch the replay. Yeah, so I was just gonna ask, would me playing 18 holes on GS Pro using the swing stick, would that even be something you guys would watch? I'd imagine there'd probably be some trolls that'll stumble across it like, this isn't real golf. Probably suck at real golf. They have like pool or billiards on that VR thing that I have, Bill. I've never tried it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Something like that would be pretty fun. Yeah, I hear you, Toast. VR is kind of hard to watch. I get you. I think that swing stick inside though, that could be fun. Again, as long as I can swing it. Bill, have you tried it on like 8-foot ceilings? Is that possible? I know that's the whole point of it. You would think it would be. I mean, it's like probably half the size of my putter. I don't know. I could probably swing it. I'm not super tall, so I think it would be all right. It's just one of those things. Same thing as indoor swing syndrome. You don't want to feel like you're possibly gonna hit the ceiling on your follow through. Don't think I'd have a problem. All right. Well, Bill's gonna be shooting pool, but I'm like 90% sure I'm gonna try that out tonight. Question is, do I wear shoes or not? I have a ceiling fan attached to light in each room, so likely not a good idea. I think I do too, but there's somewhere like I couldn't do it in here. There's some place where I can move to the side. Yeah, it's made for no room. Look at me. I mean, I was thinking originally, like I've literally used it, I think like twice. Um, I was saying originally I'd rather have a carry case, but it does sound kind of fun to bring that inside and use it. So maybe I'll be eating my words if I have a fun time playing 18 holes later. Living room has a high ceiling, so I'd be fine in there. We should do that, Bill. We should do a swing stick only scramble. We could play the tips. We could play the furthest back tees. I wonder. I wonder if it's possible to hit a shank with that thing. Like, you think it's possible to hit a Hosel rocket with that thing? If you stand like super close to the ball, you think it would like shoot off to the right? I don't know if it would. And I was thinking too, like with struggle swing, obviously if he's using it, I got to be in the garage hitting shots. And I was saying how it'd be fun if I played seed drum. But I guess if I do that and I'm using the swing stick, I was originally thinking I'd still be in the garage. But if I'm using the swing stick, why do I have to be out in the cold garage? Yeah, you're gonna hit many, but none were fat or thin. Yeah, I know it's gonna be kind of is what it is, but it'll be better to watch than that VR golf. And I'm holding an actual club. Like putting on that with the controller, they make it looks similar to the swing stick, which kind of remind me of it. They make a similar attachment to where it basically turns in those Oculus controllers that I was using. You put it into like the club and you hold the grip. They make the same ones for ping pong paddles, which are cool. But the other night when I was like putting holding the controller or hitting shots holding the controller, it is kind of tough. Seadrum said one of his buddies ordered the square. So I'm curious. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before Seadrum gets over there and tries it out. I'd be very curious if like Seadrum going from a GC quad and how good he is, if he hits on the square, it would be similar to Joe Legowski to where those guys are like robotic. They can tell right away if the numbers don't add up or like the shot doesn't look right. I'd be very curious when Seadrum goes over there and tries it, what he thinks of it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Bill. Touch shots would be the short little chips that would be tough. And putting, like that's what I was saying. Definitely massive advantage any type of driver, probably up until about a 7 iron. And then I would say probably like you can still probably hit good shots up until about pitch and wedge, but I would think like wedge shots around the green and putting would be more difficult on the swing stick versus actual shots. I need to go out there. Maybe next time I go out in the garage, I'll do it. I need to go out there now, especially because I'm not using the wedges that I actually play. I'm using my older wedges because of the grooves and whatnot. But I need to go out there and hit wedge shots probably for like an hour or two. Just like only hit my 56 and 60 and try to dial those in a bit more. Put a dynamical on the range. That's what I was thinking. How short can you go on that? Because I need to do everything from probably about a 2 yard shot. That's about as low as I go in terms of chip shots when you're like 5, 6 yards off the green type of shot. I need to go from there all the way up to about 75 yards with the 56. I don't do it in real life. Maybe I should a little bit more, but like a 7 iron type of shot, like bump and run around the greens. Maybe I should work on that for sim shots. I feel like for the most part, my wedge game from about 30 yards and in isn't terrible, but obviously could be better, like everything else. Not sure if you can do on-course practice and set the shot you want. Hmm. So I did a video. I'll have to mess around with it maybe a little bit. I may end this in a little bit, but when I did a video when the swing stick first came out with the new connector, and I was on the range, I think I was, and I tried to go over the connector and just select the swing stick, but it didn't switch over for me. Do you have to do anything different? Like, do you have to like click it and then like leave the range and come back? Or I think Golfy said he's been able to like play an actual round and like as like shot for shot switch back and forth. I haven't really tried it, but that didn't seem like the case for me, at least when I tried it on the range. I don't know, I forget what video it was, but it was towards the end. I said, all right, might as well try the swing stick. And I clicked it, but it didn't go. That's what you did down in the putting. Are you? Do you feel like the putting when you do like your SGT rounds and like that league for Ben? Do you feel like your putting in the sim is a strong suit because you did all that work, or is it still kind of a guessing game with like the speed and putting off the not ideal mat and the break and all that stuff? You just changed on the connector and changed back. I had no issue, huh? I want to say it was almost a case where I was on the range. I tried to click it, it didn't work, and then I tried to remove it, and then like the regular shots wouldn't even work. I don't remember exactly. I've been meaning to do like I've been saying that for like a week now. I've had it written down since that came out. The idea of doing a more in-depth test of the swing stick with GS Pro. I just haven't got around to it. Wow, how do you miss that? What's up, rail slider? I use a 2 foot give me circle, aim small, miss small. I don't do myself any favors either. Switching back and forth. Switching back and forth on the stimps for all the courses that I do. Howdy, bro, JK, you're pretty good. Appreciate it. What's going on with you, rail slider? I'm just rolling some putts. Talking about setting up a live stream for later. You have very few 3 putts in real life and in sim. I guess I don't have that many 3 putts. I mean, they happen. I would say on average I probably 2 putt. Every once in a while I drop one in for a 1 putt when I sink them. But I feel like for the most part I would say probably at least 50%, like 50 to 75% of my putts on the sim from all the rounds I do and stuff are two putts, meaning most times I get it inside the inner circle unless it's a super long lag putt. If it's like a 60-foot putt with a ton of break, sometimes I three putt those. I'm playing a school tourney on Monday. Wish me luck. Hope to break 84. That's awesome. Good luck. How's my game? It's getting there. It's not too bad. As of right now, people always ask, but as of right now, I don't play. I play like 95% of my golf on the simulator, so my handicap doesn't factor in all the swings I take on there and all the holes I play. But as of right now, I'm exactly a 10.0 handicap. I got it down to like 8 point something at the end of last season, and I hope to be, with all the work I've been doing and all the swings I've been taking in the simulator, I hope to get down towards like a 5 or a 6 this upcoming season on course. We'll see if I do that or not. I've broken 80 a few times. I think my best score on 9 is 2 under, and my best score on 18 was 78, I think it was, or 77. I think it was a par 72 and I shot 6 over. How many live streams? Pretty much every day. Appreciate the sub. Yeah, pretty much live every day. Sometimes even twice a day. Like today will be twice a day because I'm doing this. Today's an off day in terms of swinging. Yesterday I did a driver speed training session in the garage in my simulator, and I hit driver as hard as I could for about 2 hours straight. So today's an off day for swinging and playing, but that's why I'm doing this. And then I think later I'm gonna do something indoors that I was just talking about. The simulator that I have, it has a thing called the swing stick, which you can use indoors, which kind of sounds like fun. You have a sim? What do you have? You have any videos or anything? Well, I subscribe to you as well if you put up any simulator videos or anything. What do you have for a launch monitor? And what do you use? Do you use GS Pro as well? Or you just like hit balls on the range? Mexico Open's going on right now. You're leaving me in suspense over here, Rail Slider. What do you have? What do you have for a unit? What do you have for a sim? I will say it's gonna be very nice to be able to be similar to how I was dressed the other night for the VR. It's gonna be nice being in like workout clothes with the swing stick inside versus feeling like every single time I want to go hit balls, I have to bundle up like I'm going snowboarding. Wow, there is no one that I recognize on the leaderboard for this Mexico Open. Is this one of those weird ones where like the top players don't travel to? Joel Damon's tied for 11th. Ashke Batir, however you say his name, is tied for ninth. Patrick Rogers up there again, tied for ninth. Whoever B. Griffin is and B. Campbell from the U.S. are tied for third. Hastings, who's an amateur, is tied for seventh. Kind of listening to like slower, kind of sleepy music over here. It's making me tired. Well, I guess we're never gonna know what Rail Slider has for a sim. Now that I think about it, what I could do, I'd have to move the ball back and forth. I guess technically, I don't know how good it would be putting on that carpet. It's pretty grabby. I guess technically I could putt with the putt with the my actual putter and then use the swing stick. Yeah, I need a backstop for long shots. Well, I like your idea with like the pillow cushion or something. Um, I mean, I could just move this mat or put another one in there, I guess. But I'm still like standing on carpet instead of this being on like a hard floor. Like that other mat I have has like it's all just like pretty much rubber and you just has the three holes. I guess I could put that in there and putt off of that. I don't know. Maybe I'll probably just try when I try this swing stick for the first time. I'll probably just use only the swing stick. Keep just that one ball in front of it. Kind of simplify things. I'm kind of excited though. I think this will be fun. More so than anything, I'm excited to not be in the garage. Maybe, just maybe, when I go live later, someone that has an easy access to their sim maybe will stumble across it and wanna do like a match against me or something. All right, I think I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta switch some laundry over, take my dog out again. I'll probably mess around with the testing out the swing stick, and then unfortunately, Bill, you'll have to catch either maybe the beginning or the end of it, or watch the replay. But I'll probably be live about 5 o'clock or so, maybe. I know I said that last time with the stupid VR, but it took me forever to figure that stupid thing out. This one I think will be a little more straightforward. I just gotta set the square up and set GS Pro up, I think. But appreciate you guys watching. Shout out to anyone that subbed or hit the like button. Um, shout out to the members, Bogeyman Bill, like always, for watching. And hopefully I'll see some of you guys back live with the swing stick. Hopefully you play. What do you say for pool? Shoot good, play good. Hopefully you play well tonight, Bill, with your billiards. – 5 or 6 hours. Jeez, you play for that long? How many games do you play? Play a game what? Every 20 minutes? 15 minutes? 10 minutes if it's quick? 5 minutes if it's really quick? You must play a couple dozen games then, right? Or matches or whatever you call them. 5 minutes to a game on average. Geez, so that's even more. So you're playing. Granted, you probably take a little bit of a break in between, but you're playing 10 matches an hour. So you're playing 50 to 60 matches or games. Usually only go 2 to 4 turns. That's crazy. That's a ton of pool. Remind me not to play you in pool ever, especially for money. All right, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys on the next one.